होगा भाई ये हो नहीं पाएगा. Feel free to grab a cup of tea or coffee because this is going to be a long one. We're going to talk about money, not the incoming but the outgoing one. So here we go. Sprint 2 was all about creating designs for small writable items, and we've got 12 designs ready for mini spiral pads, which would be A7 size. These again delve in cute domain and things that you would be proud of taking out from your bag and write. In trend themes like girl boss, I've used some of the designs that I had already created in the past that I liked a lot. We've got two memo pad designs. One is the cute pastel dialogue box and the other is again cats. I'm sorry, I'm on the cat side, not the dog side, so you'll see cats more often than dogs. Wow, that was gross. The lip series that's going on, the first burger one and the macaron one now, I feel like I'm going to turn them into notebooks, and I'm just waiting for a third idea to come to me so that I can complete the set. In portfolio, I was able to create 2 posts, 5 reels, nailed it man, 1 wallpaper and 1 comics. The stylized portrait, where I try to approach colors in another different way. So the general rule is that for beginners who usually screw up colors, they should not take the 2 parallel things, which is values and hues, together. In order to tackle this, what people recommend as a practice is to paint in black and white first and then apply colors on top of them. When you're painting in black and white, which is when you're tackling the values, you want to be super sure that you're not going in the depths of extreme blacks. You're using the white, extreme white highlights to the very minimal, where you really want to show reflections and extreme light exposure. And that is exactly what I followed. This in totality is a good approach when you're going out for cinematic kind of lighting, where you want the whole piece to look very harmonized, I would say. In the reels that speaks the most to me and I'm very happy about releasing is the creation of your own fonts. So people who are looking out to create their own brand and don't want to delve into the copyright issues with the fonts that they really like and aren't available for free, I feel like it's a really good idea to pay a few more bucks to get a larger character set to sites like Calligrapher and create their own fonts. The comics was about how appreciation loses its value as and when you grow. This was not released from this account, it was from the Purple Comics, which reminds me I've never really spoken about the Purple Comics even in my stories officially, so here we go. There was a time when my friends were nudging me about my feed not being consistent, which is totally a fact now. So in order to bring in that consistency factor without ruining what I already have here, which is an audience which is accepting the kind and quality and the variety of things I would love to try, I created another account, the Purple Comics, and there I have logged in the palette. It's a few shades of purple blue, fixed hex goals. I've logged in the brushes, I've logged in the style that I'd be drawing in, and it is purely content based. So the workflow for it is as simple as this. I do not churn out designs. I wait for a good idea to come to me. I let it brew for a day or two to feel and be sure that it is a topic strong enough for me to put out there. And the fastest part in the whole process is the execution of sitting down, drawing it and releasing it. Moving on to the main topic for this video is the e-commerce, the business setup side of it. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to do, and I'll start off with what we are not. Any of those services like Society6 or Redbubble, where there is a already famous setup service that allows designers to bring in their designs and they let you publish them on different kind of products. That could be mugs, coasters, posters, canvases, mouse mats, whatnot. And they take the part of even publishing it on their marketplace as well as packaging it, shipping it, the order part, everything. Needless to say that even majority of the revenue is also taken by them only. It's only a share of the design ownership that you get. I know a lot of good artists have taken up this model. Just to name a few, it is Loish and standards are. And it is a good way definitely for artists who are looking just to be focused on creation part of the design and they don't want to be bothered about owning other parts of the business. If you are growing in terms of product range or you want to create a brand name, you don't really get those pointers out from these kinds of companies. Even if you grow really big in these places, I feel like it would be a hard time for you to disassociate from them and then create your own identity back from scratch. So, or even shift the customer base. I don't want to be focusing my energy on this channel and then later realize that okay, I'll have to do the same thing that I'm going through right now 10 years down the line. So better that we do not take this approach. The only other approach is to break it up into chunks and own whatever we can, own the linkages, and delegate whatever is out of our hands. Now, this definitely has 3 solid pillars inside of it: the e-commerce website building part, the payment part, and the shipping part. Now, e-commerce building part, we can go down another extreme and say, hey, you are a software engineer, why don't you code it from scratch and put it out there? How cool would that be? Well, as cool as it sounds, it will take a lot of time, and which I don't have. Yeah, I don't have that much of time. As well as I don't feel like I'd be really proud of myself for reinventing the wheel. I don't want to be delving into creating a login page and say, hey, look, I did that as a software engineer. No, none of my dreams include that. So the best idea is to pay for whatever services are there, which I can hands down tell you right now that they offer a better design. On the other side, there are sites like Etsy or Shopify, which include a marketplace inside of them, as well as generate revenue out of business owners in the form of product listings or even in the form of transactional costs. Now, this could be a good system. The only 2 cons that I see, which are really big for me right now, is the fact that the overall costing comes a little higher than if you would have gone for another approach of not looking out for a marketplace system and it's just a website offering platform. The other problem is that you cannot really tweak the UI UX beyond the set of templates that they're offering. Definitely not the most appropriate one for Yellow Froggy right now. Let's come to what other options we are left with. These are simple site makers. They can be either in the form of plugins. They could be independent platforms helping you with e-commerce only. Now, things that you would want to look out for if you are taking care is the one-time setup cost, the monthly costing that would probably be billed quarterly or yearly. Most of them do not have a transaction cost associated with these, so they usually have a flexibility of you to plug in with different gateway systems, payment gateways. These go hand in hand with the e-commerce site makers. Not all support every, and inside of the payment gateways also you would want to look out for which support the different varieties you necessarily want. It could be credit card, debit card, net banking, UPI, wallets, whichever is important to you. These usually, as I have seen, do not have a setup cost involved with them, but yeah, the kind of total costing for any normal payment gateway would be, we are taking X% of the cost of the payment that you're trying to make plus GST. Now, shipping can be, of course, the basic primary one. You set up your own shipping supply chain and you don't want to do that. You can't do that. Yeah, why would you do that? And the next would be hooking yourself to one specific shipping service. It could be Indian postal system, it could be commercial ones like FedEx, it could be delivery, any. So in the starting days, of course, as a business, you would not know your demand and forget about it being constant or consistent. So the problem would be that you'll have to pay upfront higher rates than what they would usually offer to medium or big companies. The other very luring option is shipping aggregators. Now, these are companies that sit on top of shipping services and they let you choose. I spoke to a lot of people who've used it in the past, and it's the problem of responsibility segregation that it becomes a bit dilute in the whole system, where you do not have the reference IDs with the main shipping service in these cases, and the shipping aggregator is usually not as developed and responsible enough to be taking care of the problem if a person is not collected of, or if your shipment is not reached. One common myth is that Indian postal system is cheap. It's not cheap. It's not at all cheap. Honestly, it would come to, of course, it's if you go for FedEx and other courier services, they'll be like, of course, इन चीज़ों में तो 100-200 रुपए तो लग ही जाते हैं. My experience with the shipping posters in the past, which was like, weight तो था ही नहीं उसमें कुछ भी. Still, it used to cost me on an average somewhere around $70-80 per package. So I feel like even if it is going to be Indian postal system where I take care of walking down to the post office and sending it out, I'm still not getting a very good deal there. Honestly, I don't know मैं क्या करने वाली हूँ shipping में, but ठीक है. With all that explained, Wix is what I've been trying my hands on because they've got decent pricing, and they allow integrations with a couple of payment gateways, among which are Razorpay and PayU, which I'll be considering seriously. Talking about Wix in detail, so I opened an account with them, and I went through the different templates. I chose the one that I liked and started tweaking on it. Now there are challenges there. It's not as easy as, okay, these are the offerings and it's just drag and drop and it's all done. There are a few catches in it, and Wix allows you to plug in your code. So the sad part is that the dialog boxes that are built up to a huge level, which could be like they are offering a filtration, sorting, as well as a product listing block that you can place inside of your site. You can't really tweak. You don't have access to the elements of it in the customizable JS code. So if you were to write your custom things, you would have to probably pick up a repeatable element which would work as your product type, and then add another filter bars and a sorting mechanism, hook each one of these up with your database entries. So even though it feels like, okay, they have been offering a lot of advanced things, the moment you start customizing it, it all becomes like you're building things from scratch. It's going to be Wix, but up until the time they really screw up in customization. Retrospective. I've reached a stage where I now feel कि retrospective का कोई point नहीं है जो कि anyway software engineers के साथ हो जाता है, but ठीक है, formality के लिए कर लेते हैं ये भी. तो स्टार्टिंग मुझे बहुत मज़ा आ रही थी करने में, अब बिल्कुल नहीं आ रही है. It feels like I'm losing out the control on things यार. ऐसा लग रहा है कि बहुत सारे uncertain factors हैं, बहुत सारे unknowns हैं, and I can sit back here and just hope कि things and dots connect. Every time I look at the designs, I'm happy. Like I'm like, wow, yeah, this is something which should have been in India market available at an affordable price, which has not been for the longest of the time. And this really has a place in the market, but the next moment when I look at the back end and I feel like कि site यहाँ जा रही है, shipment का नहीं पता है, vendor से अभी बात पूरी नहीं हुई है, it feels like it's all scattered and not everything is in my control. So just not having that good grip on things at this very moment makes me a bit uncertain about will all the dots connect really. I hope they do, and that's all I can say. Oh yes, and one more thing that I would want to really improve now going forwards is invest time in really upping my game in both software and hardware. I don't want to be shooting these videos anymore on my iPhone. I want to switch to a DSLR. I don't want to be editing these videos on iMovies anymore. I want to shift to Adobe Premiere Pro. I want to be using color filters on the videos, work a little more about in terms of storytelling. So my aim with this was not only be open out there in talking terms with you people, but also to really understand the science behind making a good video. And this could really pay off once we start our YouTube channel or marketing videos for Yellow Froggy, and with that in mind, I feel like this level is definitely not gonna work. And I have been editing for a while, and it's not like this is the first time I've picked it up, but it has to be better than what we are in right now. So we'll be shifting gears, and I am not committing to creating designs for any specific product type from now on. I want to channelize my energy into tweaking this template on Wix and finalizing it to a usable form. Even before I could say that, hey, I have four more different product types available. What this sprint taught me is like the site customizations and the designs together both tend to suffer a lot if they are clubbed up in the main sprint, especially when I'm committing to itne designs as product type mein karne hi karne hai type wala system. So I want to loosen that up a bit. I don't want to lose it completely. Like I'm not kicking it off from the sprint completely, but what I want to do is I want to keep it open. So whatever I design in my free time, and I feel like, okay, this might look good on a sticker, this might look good on a poster. So that is what gets created. We are not working towards a silo anymore. I would want to create marketing material, and there's some really cool stuff coming out there, so watch out for it. And also another life update is that I got vaccinated. I got my first dose on 20th of May, this Thursday. After 12 hours of getting the shot, I had a little bit of fever. I took paracetamol, and I could feel the pain in my arm even like 2 days. Even still, it is like not completely normal. I hope you guys are looking forward to getting vaccinated as well. I got vaccinated in a government hospital in Lucknow, and it wasn't that bad. So I feel like if you've not been considering, I would really urge you to go and get vaccinated. Stay safe. Bye-bye.